Alright, we are back here for the 5th and final round of this leg. Some decent wins, but some losses against the grossness that is Devoted Druid combo and Infect, which are both just really horrible matchups, right up there with Storm. Alright, we are on the draw again. We're going to keep this hand though. We got double creature. We're going to ignore this stupid Dry Arbor because we're basically on a mulligan to 6, but we got double creature with land and Grixus, so we're gonna keep that hand and hope that it gets us there. They spend a mana answering Dry Arbor with a Fatal Push, you know, whatever. Oh, Mishra's Bobble. Big surprise there. Honestly, I really hope Mishra's Bobble just gets banned because this abusiveness between these two cards is ridiculous. And, like, honestly, what plays this card anyway other than Death Shadow and Urza? So, like, almost deserves to get banned because it just enables those two freaking toxic decks. Alright, scout and pass. Plus, you know, Jun gave up Liliana of the Veil to play Mishra's Bobble plus Lurrus. That's this interaction here between these two cards. Jun gave up Liliana of the Veil for this. If anybody needs any more certainty as to how broken Mishra's Bobble plus Lurrus is, that's it right there. Honestly, even at this stage, I wouldn't mind if they banned Lurrus because it would just stop these Thoughtseize decks from playing Mishra's Bobble plus Lurrus. But, you know, I'm sick of seeing Mishra's Bobble in an Inquisition Lurrus deck at this stage. It's so ridiculous. It's so dumb. Alright, opponent looks like they are passing here after deciding ever so tremendously longly. Alright, we're going to fetch a basic plains off of this fetch land we just drew. Play a Hyena Umbra on our Glade Cover Scout. Assuming it resolves, Grixus attack for 4. If it doesn't resolve, Grixus attack for 2. Alright. I'd be very surprised if we didn't get pardon me, if we didn't get Icefang Coddled here, but it could well be a Death Shadow deck we are up against right now, in which case they're just letting their life total drop. If it's a Death Shadow deck, they're being very conservative with their life total, bringing in that Steam Vents tapped. You'd think with Thoughtscour it's probably, I don't know, Thoughtscour used to scream Death Shadow deck. Oh. Engineered Explosives on 1. Yay! Main deck Engineered Explosives. Yay! Alright, fun times, guys. Alright, let's attack for 3. Hopefully it pops us in response instead of waiting until our end step. In which case we can drop Dried Arbor plus Core Spirit Dancer. We'll see if he gets uber greedy. He gets uber greedy. Alright, we don't have Totem Armor in our hands, so really all we can do is diversify ourselves across 0, 1, and 2 converted mana cost. Opponent's still got 5 cards in hand, so they've got, honestly, a lot of game. This looks like a 3 to 4 coloured Urza deck. But, you know, regardless of whatever's going on, if our opponent taps out here, we can just Core Spirit Dancer and potentially kill them. Got 9 damage between the Scout and the Core Spirit Dancer at the moment. If this is main deck Dead of Winter, like, honestly, I swear to God. Well, they don't have Cryptic Command mana. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the Glade Cover Scout, get the draws. Maybe they're just holding up like double kill spell and they're like, oh my god, why didn't they go in on Core Spirit Dancer? But yeah, this seems like awfully weird that they've literally done nothing by turn 2. Alright, your Lightning Bolt resolves, opponent. We have Flying. We're about to have a 4-powered flyer as well. Snapcaster Mage, Lightning Bolt, oh my goodness. Are you targeting Lightning Bolt or Thought Scour? Do you want to land screw me during my main phase that hard? Honestly, this is not good at all by my opponent. During my main phase, he's doing this. Why not during my upkeep? We flat out on land there. Attack 4 in the air. And then I can shock in a Glade Cover Scout potentially, or just bring it in tapped. I don't see too much advantage to shocking it in, honestly. If we draw land, we can Lurrus plus any aura from our graveyard to win. So this is, you know, against Grixus control against a resolved and activated engineered explosives. Main deck engineered explosives. Talk about like an unnecessarily early popped engineered explosives. Considering he's probably got Mystic Sanctuary. And if he'd have waited a turn later, he could have had that on top of his library and had a second activation. Alright, here's jamming Lurrus. So our own Lurrus plus any aura or any aura on top of our library, and we will win this game. Explosives on 1. Oh, you like to live dangerously, opponent. Let's see if the top of our library rewards us. Not being whatever our opponent is. Alright, we draw Ethereal Armor, so Core Spirit Dancer. Ethereal Armor, draw a card, etc. We got to do this in case Force of Negation. Alright, looks like it is resolving. Attack, win, goodbye Grixus is bullshit. Is he really that salty that he's making us fucking time out our clock here. Seems very, very bizarre. I really wish I had suppression field here. It seems like it would be really good. Core Spirit Dancer seems very much weak here. Stony Silence and Rest in Peace seems good. Actually, Inquisition... Leyline seems better than Stony Silence here. And I might just take out 2 Grisbones. Wait, I'm 2 cards over. Path. Yeah, sorry. Wait, my Stony Silences are still in there. I took them out. I should have taken them out. Alright. Super late, but we got the sideboard in. So 4 Core Spirit Dancers out, 4 Ley Lanes, and 2 Rest in Peace in. And 2 Path out. Seems good. I say that, but I'm versing a main deck Engineered Explosives Lurrus deck. Alright, we'll keep this. No Totem Armor, which is the predominant weakness. On top of no protection against Thoughtseize. Still really strong looking hand. If we dodge those 2 things, we're good. He's looking at his own library with that Misha's Bobble. So deciding on land drop before he tears our hands to pieces. Alright, he doesn't like the top card. And very likely Bogle goes bye-bye. Wait. Steam Vents? So we're playing round Force Spike? Alright, looks like our opponent's on the turn 1 Thought Scour plan. Which seems incredibly weird. Wait. Our Lurrus opponent just Thought Scoured targeting me. We saw game 1 Snap Custom Age and he Thought Scoured targeting me. Alright. Well, Cartouche and Slippery Bogle to the graveyard. We'll run out this Griff's Boon. Go on. Mana Leak it. You know you want to. Okay, Drown and Lock, whatever. We got the other Grisboon because we drew one. Suck it, opponent. We are still scared of things like Anger of the Gods, Engineered Explosives, Dead of Winter. But yeah, if he's going to continue to do nothing, I'm going to continue to apply pressure. Oh, he's going to try and do something during his turn. Explosives on 1. Oh, difficult line. Good job. Good job, opponent. Alright, let's attack for 2. See if they're doing newbie preemptive activation here to save 2 damage. Alright, they don't do a newbie pre-activation here. I'm going to play the Horizon Canopy past on my opponent. It's really sad. If they did the newbie pre-activation, we could have bogled into all the glitters for essentially free. And if they lure us into like explosives on one here, we're probably just dead. Alright, looks like we are facing a cryptic command here. I'm going to cast this Bogle. Post combat, I'm going to cast Rest in Peace. This is surely going to meet a cryptic command here based off my read on my opponent. And he's going to tank it out because he doesn't know what's going on. Old turn 4 second hexproof creature. Goodness, this requires a large amount of thought process. You mean you have an assembled second blue spell plus Force of Negation for the follow-up Rest in Peace? Wait, did my opponent just concede the game? What? No, they didn't. Why am I getting online 3 boosters mid-game? How bizarre. Counter return? Oh no. Oh no, opponent. You got the Force of Negation. I'll probably concede to the Force of Negation. If you lose all this juicy BS in the graveyard, I'm happy to play it on, at least for a turn or two. Alright. So opponent 4 cards in hand. 3 cards after playing the Scalding Tarn now. Rest in Peace is going to stop any Mystic Sanctuary rubbish that he was trying to do. This could potentially just be a Lurrus here, although he's tapped blue-black, and with blue-black, you know, he needs double black for Lurrus, so that doesn't make too much sense unless he's getting Watery Grave off this Scalding Tarn here. No? Blood Crypt, alright. Same difference. Alright, opponent has hard cast Lurrus. 3 cards in hand. Alright, we rip a useless card named Razorverge Thicket, and we're going to go ahead and cycle our Horizon Canopy into hopefully a creature. We blank on creatures, so we lose. Because, you know, Engineered Explosives is just that ridiculously OP. And we got Grixus decks running around, running Lurrus plus Engineered Explosives plus opponent's Just Cry. Alright, so we take 3 damage here. We draw another Horizon Canopy, which again gets cycled into most likely nothing. We cycle it into something, we don't. Okay. Good night. Good night, sweet prince. Game is over. Opponent managed to assemble the turn 2 Engineered Explosives, which means we lose. Good job. You are gaining life through resilience and permission. Oh, Thoughtseize, honestly, what are you taking? Probably Daybreak. If I was my opponent here, I'd probably take the Rancor because it is the most relevant spell to take. If he takes Daybreak Coronet, he's just snapping the flashy aura. Rancor at least like provides me pushing damage through whatever his jump blocker is. Alright. Props to my opponent on choosing the right aura. Third Horizon Canopy, third turn in a row. Goodness gracious, has my opponent got Cryptic Command here to counter whatever I'm doing? Doesn't matter, I'm drawing non-creature spells. And he's casually attacking me down for 3 life a turn via this nightmarish creature. Honestly, I'd be like, even though the disynergy with like Force of Vigor, I'd be so much happier if this card read any spell as opposed to non-permanent spells. Because the fact that a control deck gets to run, you know, Archmage's Charm, Cryptic Command, Teferi, Jace, etc., etc., and also run Lurrus is just beyond me. Like, that's just not even close to being fair, ever. Alright, so we'll take out these 2 Griff Spoons for 2 Stony Silences after seeing 2 Engineered Explosives. We'll give ourselves a hopefully fighting chance against whatever absolute ridiculous BS our opponent is doing. Alright, we got Leyline of Sanctity to protect ourselves from discard, plus Totem Armor and Trample First Strike. With Creature Land, you know, we're going to go ahead and keep this. This looks really, really solid. DJ Effet Utile. Is it just me? Does that sound like super freaking tryhard? Like, super tryhard for someone playing something really not that good? I'm not playing anything that spectacular, but at least I'm interactive and friendly, right? What does your hand do against Leyline of Sanctity? That is the big question, opponent. Probably worth keeping Windswept Teeth in hand in case, you know, explosives, the worst case scenario, sort of, etc., etc. Opponent has to target himself with Mishra's Bubble. Leyline will prevent him from targeting me. Really hoping I draw Ethereal Armor and Rancor, turn 2 attack for 5 would be the most ideal scenario here. Opponent's Thought Scour dropping Thoughtseize and Mishra's Bubble. We draw a Glade Cover Scout, which is basically a dead draw. I probably should have played the Razorverge Thicket there. I'm gonna go ahead, might as well I should have got Razorverge Thicket there instead of my Fetch Land, save Dried Arbor, but we drew the second Hexproof creature, so basically the same thing. Playing Razorverge Thicket or Windswept Teeth. It's pretty similar. One's deck thinging, the other's playing around Engineered Explosives. I mean, my opponent showed that they were patient enough to not just, like, crack the explosives for 2 damage. But even then, it would be like a turn 3 activation. Alright, goodbye Razorverge Thicket here. We don't care about the 3 damage. We care about the board state. Alright. Ethereal Armor is a fantastic draw there. Attack for 8. with Trample, put our opponent to 6, and we've got Trample, Totem Armor, First Strike, Ethereal Armor, Leyline. Opponent's on an uphill battle here. He's going to have a really good turn 3 to do anything at all. Alright, looks like my opponent's had enough, and we have won that game against Grixus Control 2-1. So some unfortunate losses against Devoted Droid Combo and Infect, but other than that, looking really solid against the other decks we've versed. We've got our packs, we've got our play points, and whatever other rewards we've got. So looking back across and onto the deck. Where's my deck hiding? I think yeah, this one here. So Cartouche of Solidarity didn't come into play at all. It could have been really good against the Spellskite deck that was our Game 2 opponent. The Devoted Droid combo, turn 2 Spellskite on Game 1 on the draw. Against us, we played a turn 2 Spirit Dancer and couldn't resolve a single all game because Spellskite. We did attempt to cast some auras, but didn't draw to our Path to Exiles there. But yep, Spellskite has a really good, unique ability which says enchant creature you control. What this means is your opponent's Spellskite cannot redirect this to their Spellskite. So that will resolve on your creature no matter what. It will give you a 1/1 Vigilance token and 1/1 First Strike. Other than that, you can potentially look to use that Cartouche of Solidarity to pivot onto a Daybreak Coronet, which your opponent can also not target onto their Spellskite. But yeah, Spellskite's like super disappeared in the last probably 2.5 years. I haven't seen the card at all in any serious list, apart from this ridiculous Devoted Droid combo deck, and also main deck in the red-white core equip deck, which basically uses the really silly Sagada's Aid, Colossus Hammer, and where's my wrong deck there, and Magnetic Theft to just like double strike creature, attack you for 22, trample, first strike. So yeah, there's like 2 decks in the metagame at the moment playing Spellskite. Both of them are playing at main deck, and the fact we reverse one of them is pretty unlucky in my opinion. If you're trying to sideboard for that sort of stuff, you're probably just sideboard like main decking. If you're trying to tune your deck for that sort of stuff, you're probably main decking full Path to Exiles. Outside of that, you could main deck 2 to 4 Cartouche of Solidarity to help deal with it. All the Glitters is really not that impressive there. These could easily be Cartouche of Solidarities. Then you got 4 Cartouche of Solidarity, 4 Daybreak Coronets, 2 Path, 2 Sentinels ads. You're a little weak to Engineered Explosives and Blast Zones on 1 because you don't have the 6 Totem Armor effects from your 2 extra Spider Umbra. But like, metagame, what are you tuning for? What are you doing? What do you want to focus on? Like the last 2 leagues prior to this, I saw 4 Tron decks, and this league I saw 0. And I tuned my sideboard towards Tron by having the extra Gadok Tig, where actually Grafdigger's Cage would have been really good against the the Devoted Droid combo deck. But as modern stands at the moment, I think it's hard to get a proper tuned deck currently. Maybe you want 4 Path to Exiles and you want to minus the Sentinel's Eyes for the other 2 paths to exiles. Playing around blast zones and all the glitters playing around engineered explosives blast zone. Right now, like, it's hard to say because I'm not playing a super amount at the moment, and like mono red prowess, I feel like if there's a lot of mono red prowess, a lot of burn, you want Sentinel's Eyes because you want a creature that can block their prowess creature, and you block it with Vigilance First Strike while getting in for 3 damage, and then look to lifelink, kill, like, deal damage, gain life the next turn. It's pretty situational. But on top of that, Path to Exile is really good against Lurrus decks because, hey, Path kills Lurrus and it can't come back. It can't be entombed back to the battlefield. It can't be Colligan's command back to the battlefield. It's exiled. It's gone. Yeah, so that's the deck at the moment. I don't feel like we have a hugely good direction to tune it into. And I don't feel like the metagame is in a hugely good place in allowing us to tune it in a direction. But the deck's what it is. If you jam enough leagues, you go even. Occasionally you'll go like 4-1 or 5-0 in a league, and you'll get your tickets, your play points, your chests, all of that stuff. So it's just about putting up with the rest of the, like, whatever you're coming up against, treating it to what you can, and playing to your outs when you can. But yep, that's it from me for this league. Go away, AVG. You are literally the worst antivirus thing I've ever had the displeasure of dealing with. I've tried uninstalling this ridiculous program several times, but for some reason it's blocked, so I think I have to close my browser, restart my computer, uninstall it that way. For those of you that don't know, and I'm absolutely happy shaming the absolute freaking crap out of AVG, because honestly, I have paid for their service, I paid for their tune-up service, and still they tried to upsell me. Still they clickbaited me, and ever since my paid service expired, they've actually slowed my computer down and slowed down various programs I'm using on the computer just to try and clickbait me into buying another subscription. Like, honestly, if there's any bigger, like, insult from an antivirus company which I have spent money on, it's absurd. What am I? Like, is AVG, is your entire client base fucking grandmas and grandpas that you are trying to clickbait money out of because they don't understand technology? And if you are, like, fucking screw you. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Needless to say, I'm going to find a way to get rid of this horrible, horrible program off my computer, and install an antivirus program which is actually worth caring about and worth giving money to, because I can assure you viewers that AVG is not it, and I am disgusted at their business model and their tactics, and even when I paid for their service, right, they still had pop-up ads trying to upsell me. Even when I bought their tune-up program, they had pop-up ads trying to upsell me again on top of that. Like, that is pathetic. That is beyond pathetic. That is absolutely useless. So pathetic. So that concludes my rant on AVG and my rant on Modern at the moment. I hope everyone enjoyed watching this, and if you watched it till the end, please feel free to leave me a like and potentially a comment as well, because both likes and comments are good for the YouTube algorithm and they will help grow the channel. Other than that, thanks everyone again, and I hope to see you all in the next video. See ya.